home map for Shelty, I believe, is going to be Oasis. And he's going to be playing Ra and his opponent as well. So, proper mirror for us to enjoy. So we're probably gonna see a bit slower start as it usually happens between Egyptians, and to be honest, I don't exactly know what to expect in here. Considering the fact that Shadowfax actually went for the faster heroic on the last game, could he be actually thinking about Scarab Rush with Shifting Sands? Well, it would be a fun game. It would be a fun game, definitely. But I'm not really all that certain that would be happening. So definitely curious what will be the case, but both should be advancing into faster heroic, of course, and then I would be expecting Raiden with Chariot Archers if they go for something fairly standard. And looking, for example, and the TC's positions, they are better for Shelty, I'm thinking. They are better for Shelty because they are close to each other, which basically means that his base is going to be very compact and very easy to defend, as opposed to his opponent, who is kind of spread out, and it has to be said that it doesn't really do a whole lot for him, because he doesn't capture any kind of gold. He is gonna get a good trade route to this TC from the top, which is gonna be halfway protected by this town center, but still he doesn't protect any gold mine. This is just the starting one, and the next one is kind of frontish. Could be wallable from about this middle and whatnot, as the one at the top, kind of similarly. But yeah, nothing really all that awesome, and considering that there is a gold mine next to this TC, I'm really liking this map for Shelty a whole lot more. And probably he should be having a bit of an advantage if he actually plays it correctly. He could be walling in this position, maybe through the middle to protect this gold as well, because the TC is there and trade will have to start from about the bottom. And there is another gold mine, so he's gonna be maybe a bit torn what part of the map he wants to protect first. But looking at the second gold, I'm fairly certain he's gonna be following up at the top, and then only then thinking about how to set up the trade and protect it for himself. Definitely nice to see that both are having such a gold mine at the back, so it's not really any kind of advantage for either. Looking, for example, how's it going to be with the food? We are looking at Shelty at the chickens, as he has discovered a bit later, the zebras. At the top, does he have actually hunting dogs? Yes, he does. And his opponent is where on the hunt? On the zebras, but he doesn't have hunting dogs. Hello. So he probably didn't scout them fast enough. And he decided that he's gonna go without it. This is actually super important because Shelty, right about now with the hunting dogs, is gonna be having faster food gathering. This is kinda sad. But otherwise he doesn't see all that many animals, just potentially a few monkeys. And I don't think he has really scouted them all that much. As you can see, the priest right now going for the house, as he apparently housed himself, I would be thinking. Otherwise he don't really go with 2 villages and even empowering it. I'm really thinking that he actually managed to house himself. But yeah, another hunt is at the bottom, which is quite far away. Quite far away indeed, and I'm not really sure that otherwise he's gonna be moving for some extra hunt, or if he's just gonna be turning back for the goats and then probably preparing for the rain faster heroic. Let's see. Let us see how that's gonna work out for him. Gold in the middle, kinda interesting, even though not really anything all that crucial. And town centers, not really. Relics, that's what I wanted to talk about, are for better hero speed. It's actually nice, because Ras usually do have plenty of priests. And what is this? Special attack recharge time for myth units faster. Rather slower, or rather, what word I'm looking for? Shorter. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Shorter. Anyway, temple is down, which should be resulting in advancing to the next age for Shadowfax. For the opponent, he's just going to be dropping temple, so Shadowfax is probably going to be faster to advance. And you can see that he's leading in the score by about 30 points. That's nothing insignificant, to be honest. Not really sure what's the difference. Right now, already having pickaxe. His opponent is aware with that. Still nowhere. Still nowhere. So apparently they are going for a bit different strategy, which of course is signaled also by the fact that the temple is built by quite a lot later by Shelty. As his opponent is probably already advancing, right? Foot? No, he isn't, but he's gonna be clicking about now. So it might not be all that different in the end, as... Oh, this is actually quite nice Gazelle. It's gonna help him. He doesn't need to move all that much. He's gonna be killing her and using her as well, if he actually sees it. Which I'm thinking that he will. Which I'm really thinking that he will quite alright. As right now, this is exactly a super important relic for him. As he is, even moving the granary. But he should not really... Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that he should be building with all the villages that he needs to gather from the Gazelle and let just the one villager maybe to finish with the granary. And it's going to be quite nice timing. And this is a little thing that not really, or rather not really, all the top players actually do this, but on the lower levels, this is a bit of a trick that actually helps your economy a bit. It's just seconds and units of resources, but that's definitely adding up across the game, and that's why it's important to be making even such little efficiency plays. So monumental soldiers, as he's gonna go for armory. As for the expected, of course, faster heroic age. So right now the opponent is coming through Ptach as well. They are both Ptach, right? Yes. Both are through Ptach, and since they are also 2 Ras, it's gonna be interesting who actually does cast the rain first. That's usually a pretty big advantage for the player that actually casts it first, because he's gonna be having the higher bonus than his opponent. And in that case, he's gonna be having probably better heroic. And well, let's see who is that going to be. At this point, I'll be thinking it might be Shadowfax. Yeah, it will be. He's already going for the farms. Whereas his opponent is not really going for it yet, and he might not even reap all that many benefits from that. Well, that could be potentially a bit of a malus extra for Shelty. So far it seems to be that actually the map, even though the map is better for Shelty, the game overall is coming back better for Shadowfax. And he's probably gonna be interesting heroic as opposed to his opponent just now getting the blow. Yeah, he's already going to be having Shadow, of course, as his opponent is just now going to be dropping farms a bit later. So, yep, the advantage is most definitely for Shadowfax, and he's gonna be having plenty more food than his opponent. Plenty more in there going on for him. So Shelty already is going to be falling into a bit of a hole, even though the map still could help him if he goes for this TC, for the gold and whatnot, because his opponent will have to somehow drop a Migral about here, I'm thinking, because he will need to somehow protect this goal, as it is the closest to him, and also kinda important as far as map control goes. So yep, plenty of farms all around. We are going to be expecting the same upgrades with the Husbandry in there. Husbandry, we have seen it a bit before, of course, for the opponent as well. And he does have pickaxe, which his opponent, did he have it? Yes, he did. Of course he did. And right now there's gonna be a second drain from Shelty. And you can already see 100 points, or rather 80 points advantage for Shadowfax. Let's see when they actually clicked into the next age. Shadowfax already clicked. Shelty didn't, so already advantage of about, well, maybe about a minute on the next age. That's interesting. That's interesting, as Shadowfax will be advancing in pretty close time. And where are the villagers gonna be going for the Migral? I'll be already thinking that he might be moving forward for the placement, but so far he isn't. I'm thinking that he should be having enough gold. Or not yet? Yes, he does. He does have enough. He does have enough for the Migral. This is gonna be a prime spot. Or if he's feeling very, very confident, he could be going for the middle one. Right now he has discovered it. And since he can basically expect that his opponent is gonna be later into the next age, he can basically right now go forward and even risk it. But he's coming for the second TC first. It's kinda surprising. I would be really thinking that it might be better course of action to go for the Migral first, especially since you advance first, to basically give you the edge with the Raiden and potentially even stop your opponent, because of course chariot archers are fast to move across the map and they are also super fast to make. So I don't really agree with this order of business, but both are going for the same. So I kinda guess it doesn't really matter anything significant. So gold here, it's gonna be Migral, of course, as we expected. Plenty of berries, like really a lot of berries with some monkeys on top of that. And I'm kinda curious if he's gonna be following through the right side or if he is gonna go through the middle. And kinda would be favoring the middle, because not only of the gold, but because he should be really controlling that part of the map because of those town centers. But I'm not sure how much actually has Shadowfax scouted. I'm kinda thinking that neither of the players actually knows what's happening on the other side. I don't think they have actually scouted. So that might be a bit of an issue for them. They might be making mistakes based on false assumptions on how the map goes. And I'll be thinking that should be coming as a favor to Shelty. Because if he is able to secure this part of the map, this basically whole half with the double gold mines, it's gonna be a bit harder for his opponent to do anything significant out there. Anyway, it's gonna be market already coming down. For the opponent, is it as well? It's gonna be coming from the top. Yeah, as we expected. It's gonna be this really coming for the market, as chariot archers are of course already going to be moving across the map, as the economy seems to be stronger so far for Shadowfax. I'm gonna be checking, for example, at the amount of villages. Yeah, there are a bit more through the faster advance and through the faster TC. It's already about, I don't know, 3-4. As we're looking at the locusts, which have been cast very weirdly. He has cast them on the left instead of on the middle. Right now he's getting a bit lucky as he's killing all the farms in there, which is of course quite a nice idea. Luckily for Shelty he didn't kill villages, but still he did kill plenty of farms, which is quite a big investment because of course for Aegis that's 47 gold, so that's about 5-6, so about 250 gold. Not that tragic as it usually is for the other civilizations, but still it's not for free, as the army is going to be coming up a bit stronger for Shelty, but or rather for Shadowfax, but he's already going to be letting his enemy get next to his Migdol and basically trying to make him leave this position. So let's just go T in there with the second one with husbandry on top of her, with the one big X marked for deletion, and this is quite far away actually from any kind of battlefield, as he's already coming for the 30C, which is going to be in this case slightly slower than for Shelty. The market's coming up there. Well, of course, the trade is going to be inefficient, but at this stage, the market still, rather the trade doesn't matter all that much if Shelty plays it correctly, because he still does have enough gold mines. What he should be though doing is at least attempting a bit of wall-in, because otherwise he's going to be wide open to raid in from his opponent. His opponent should be doing the same, of course. Don't really understand why nobody's really wall-in when they know what's gonna come, and that's a whole lot of raiding across the map. But yeah, well, they feel comfortable inside their home bases. Shelty also, they are just chilling in here as they have run out of the gold. And even though he does have nice shaft mine, those guys probably said, yeah, no, I'm not going into any mine. I'm just happy with doing the mining of the gold above the ground. So, that's gonna be goodbye. Goodbye, Harnet Geriotev. Man, that's a name. Of course, he's right now toastish, as the walls are finally coming up from Shadowfax, and this is something that Shelty should be really capturing as... Oh man, this looks good. Oh, well, that was a whole lot better right about now by Shelty, because he killed about at least 6-7 villages on the gold. And this is not how bad. This is gonna be big downtime on economy, because of course he cannot gather anywhere else Shadowfax. So not only half a minute without gathering gold, but also losing extra villages in there. And oh man, even though Shadowfax is still in pretty big lead, has to be said, even looking at the map and how it goes, he's definitely in the lead in here. He's at least right now going to be denying the finishing of the wall and this gold mining in there. And this is gonna be quite challenging for Shadowfax, because this basically leaves this gold mine as the sole one for himself. And otherwise, he doesn't know about the ones at the bottom all that much, or doesn't care about them. And it's up to Shelty to somehow try and deny him. The second Migdol is already going to be coming up for him, and apparently this is going to be a push through the top, which is, I think, a pretty good idea from Shelty, because he's of course gonna stop even the trade pretty soon, and this TC is quite closer to his Migdols, and potentially when he actually goes for the siege works as well, then all the way from here to the other side of the map. So I'm kind of thinking that really Red should be establishing himself either in the middle next to his gold, as he's right now attempting to do, or next to the TC to be closer to all of this. So shifting sense by Red, so he's helping himself basically to defend the trade. Well, not a bad idea to basically solve the situation that was kinda dangerous, but of course you mustn't forget that it will leave Shelty with his own shifting sense, and he can right now use them to his liking. And well, he can kinda guess that that might be a slightly better usage for him than for Shadowfax. Always when you have to use god power like that in a defensive purpose, it's a bit of a victory for the opponent. So let's see if Shadowfax is going to be forcing Shelty to do something like that. So far, it's going to be just a bit of, yeah, exchanges between chariot archers and camels, which of course Shelty will have to take care of a bit better than this. This is gonna be challenging. It's gonna be basically up to Shadowfax to notice this. If he doesn't notice it, this could actually be a bit of an issue for Red, because of course these 3 Migdols in there, yeah, not that easy to deal with, even with those 3 siege towers, because of course they're gonna be killed fairly easily. And unfortunately, it seems like that Shadowfax, he's still in, But it might be looking like... No, nobody is dropping in here. It's gonna be your connection, if anything. We have proven that yesterday, but it seems like that the game might have frozen for some reason. For some weird reason. Yep, right now we are moving forward, so that was weird, and Shadowfax is the one who is having the connection issues in here, but luckily the game didn't drop. It was kinda patient with us, which is good news, and let's see if he finishes. Oh, just before the first hit, he was able to finish this. I mean, right now he does have the teleport with the villagers through the Migdol, so he's gonna use the Willies, even though he's gonna lose them. He's gonna get rid of those towers, which is super important, and with all the building capacities, of course, to produce the unit, this is gonna be fairly easy to get rid of, and of course the Migdol is gonna survive as well. So nicely played. Bit of luck for Shelty, of course, is to be said, as he's even moving for the gold at the bottom, so careful about that right now for it, as he's trying to move forward with the Migdol, with the siege works, so that he's closer exactly as he expected, and I really dislike how Shelty isn't walling. Even though the walls wouldn't be stopping the siege towers, they are at least giving you like few seconds of extra warning before the opponent is actually on top of you. Right now Horus is going to be coming for the TC to get rid of it, and oh yeah, unfortunately, friendly. Oh, this is pretty bad friendly fire for Shelty. Shelty is actually not realizing that tornado is taking your own units. Am I remembering this right? That actually in AOT it doesn't? I'm having such a right now thought that in AOT you actually don't suffer friendly fire from tornado. I'm not entirely 100% certain, maybe somebody in the chat can confirm this. Yeah, but right now he's going to be trying to steal the TC, which is definitely a good idea, but unfortunately it didn't go out with the elephant, and of course a few extra armies are gonna be killing this guy, and shifting sense on the bills would be liking, but it's gonna be shifting sense anyway, as he needs to get the army in there quite a lot sooner to basically help him, and well, he actually saved his villagers, it seems like, or not. Yeah, right now I'm not exactly sure where he sent it. I'm really thinking that he would have to actually help him in there, as the tower is going to be coming up pretty soon, and with even some mercenaries coming into the fun. Yeah, right now it's going to be all up to Shelty to basically stop this, which it seems like that he should be having enough elephants to actually do. And in that case, he's still gonna be having the population limit advantage, and he's already dropping, or rather moving forward, and looking at, for example, some upgrades. So far nothing from blue, from red either. And well, the villagers are quite impatient to actually get on this TC, and they will have to take care of the tower as well, because Shelty has given up on that attempt. I think that he should have finished. I think he should have finished, because this battlefield is not really all that clearly won for him. He should be really doing a whole lot more. Or maybe he can just drop a tower about here. Get that Pharaoh in there if he has already actually resurrected. So far doesn't seem so, as he's getting to 45 TC just about now. Yeah, well, don't see him yet. But he will be definitely helpful in trying to stop this and build this as well. As of course Shelty, this is the correct decision. Not only will he be able to stall the town center, but much more importantly, it's already in range of all the trade, and that's a huge problem for Shadowfax, because he's going to be running out of the gold inside his home base as this battle is still going on, and he's going to be much more reliant on the one in the front, and he still isn't moving on the one at the bottom, which at this point I'm kind of thinking that he actually doesn't know about, as he is most definitely running out of the gold in there. So super crucial tower is finished, with all the elephants still moving forward, some petricles in there as well, with priest being, or rather coming into place, and of course, Avenger, yeah, that's going to be a beast. Send Avenger against the villagers, please. Avenger on the villagers, please, pretty please, that's gonna be pretty good for him if he does that. Because with this special attack, we'll be absolutely destroying them. Absolutely destroying all of them, and yes, thank you very much. Yeah, exactly, again the villagers. And we get the special attack on them. Exactly at the correct moment. Well, that would have been pretty tough. But so far Avenger not really control all that much, as the mercenaries are still coming in there and trying to finish with another tower, which would be effectively denying the TC to his opponent. Yep, right now killing villagers that are trying to stop this, working alright. But of course, Shelty is kind of falling back on resources for some reason, or rather on units for some reason. Don't exactly understand what's the cause for that. He's having right now upgrade on attack. His opponent's having heavy chariots though. as the tower is just finished, and copper shields and copper weapons, especially those copper shields, are going to be a big advantage for Shadowfax, because chariot archers are a unit that is used very often in this battle, and quite a lot, and we just basically waiting when Shadowfax gets into the next age and unleashes the tornado of his own. So let's see how that's gonna work out. I'm gonna quickly check into foot if he's gonna be coming there. Maybe, just maybe. But I'm not entirely certain. It's almost looking like that he's still continuing, actually, with the pressure. Trying quite desperately to get back at the TC. And I'm not really seeing what's the reason for Shelty actually not having a bigger advantage. Because, of course, he's also going to be having a problem with the gold sometime soon. He needs to establish better trade route as soon as possible, because it might be a bit of an issue for him, and potentially some victory condition for Shadowfax. Because if Shelty cannot stop a trade, which he is not attempting to do at all, he's just right now pushing here, and I'm thinking he's underestimated that aspect of the game quite significantly. Well, we shot at the last moment, pretty much. It almost looked like that it could be coming up, but no, it isn't. The gold will be a significant player in this game still. Well, well, well. Well. So, right now, finally, we are looking at enough army from Shelty. So something had to have changed, but he's right now falling back. But I'm kind of thinking that basically this catapult and a few catapults that he can be producing from the siege works in there are going to be keeping this TC down. I don't exactly expect that he should be... Well, let's catch that. Because right now he has the Pharaoh, which will result in the TC getting finished. And this might be a turn moment in the game. Because of course, with the TC being finished, it's gonna be equal population limit. And even though he has lost the army, right now the mercenaries exactly in the battlefield. And that's something that actually opponent cannot supply. Even though he could be getting the stronger mercenaries, it's quite far away. And well, finally moving forward to the bottom. And quite probably gonna be coming for Migdol about here, and even establishing the trade. Right now, I'm kinda curious if Shadowfax is gonna notice that the gold has disappeared. As he's running out of gold, quite inevitably, already plenty of idols in there. As he's in the middle of the trade, trying to gold starve his opponent, and at exactly the correct moment. I don't think that actually Shelty realizes how correct moment this is to actually kill the trade. And he's already having heavy cavalry, bronze weapons, and the copper in the rest. The attaches are still normal though. Because of course, this is exactly the moment where Shadowfax has run out of gold. He still doesn't know it. He's just now basically going for everything in there. And the chariot archers are killing all the camels that are going to be coming here, trying to get some gold. And these guys are going to be finishing... Yeah, well... Unfortunately, not really their caravans all that much. So right now, pretty big problems coming for Shadowfax, as he's gonna be without gold. And oh well, Shelty, careful, as Shadowfax is trying to get this gold, but still, this gold is almost more than halfway over. So even though Shadowfax might be stealing this gold, it's not anything major. And right now, he's probably not fully realizing what's here, as Migdol has been built. Unfortunately, it's gonna go down as soon as it did. And Shelty's nice adventure in there is going to be ending in absolute fiasco. Not only has he lost the Pharaoh, he's gonna be losing all the rest in there. And of course, right now, it's looking quite well for Shadowfax, because it seems that Shelty basically made a mistake with this little adventure at the bottom. I was thinking that he's gonna be securing the gold, but he didn't. And since he's gonna be running out of gold himself fairly soon, he doesn't have the trade route on anything significant. Yeah, well... He should have been a bit better at actually controlling the map. He was trying to do a bit too much with the trade apparently, even though it was a good idea. He unfortunately forgot about the rest of it, and right now I'm kinda thinking that the game is in Shadowfax's hands absolutely fully. I don't see how Shelty could be right now winning it, because he made a crucial mistake just a minute ago. He has basically let this opponent get back into the game, having heavy camos, already bronze shields and copper weapons, and he's pushing forward, killing one of the Migdols, and well, yep, the gold is gonna be the death of Shelty. As I said a bit before, the gold is gonna be super important. Shelty gonna be trying to secure at least this 1500 gold that is going to be left about here. But with all the watchtowers shooting all around, with even having crenellations to get extra damage against elephants and camels, yeah well, this is not gonna be coming all that well for Shelty. So it seems like that we might really be seeing even more games today, which is definitely not bad for us. And so far, these games have been quite fun. Quite fun indeed, as well some catapult in here, still trying to get rid of the Migral, just basically for the fun of it, which doesn't really matter all that much to Shelty. He's probably gonna kill it through the second, or not. Yeah, apparently not, because he's probably not paying enough attention, as it's right now auto-retreating back, and unfortunately if he doesn't kill it fast enough, he could be even giving up the gold, which I'm still not sure, and not convinced that actually Shadowfax knows about. Or we kinda thinking that he maybe even doesn't, as villagers are getting rid of the siege. But yeah, the Petsuchos in there, and the Petsuchai, they are doing the job, as apparently Shelty probably doesn't have enough gold, because of the absolutely horrible trade route. Here you can see there's absolutely no gold for both of them, and since he cannot produce enough priests to get rid of the Petsuchai, and gonna be losing the gold pretty soon, it's going to be all about trying to push for this gold mine for the 1500, and then of course for the bottom, where Shadowfax is just finally scouted that there's a ton of gold that either he or his opponent could still be coming for. Horus is there, so right now the Mythic, of course, is gonna be coming for Shadowfax, since he's having the better economy. The Tornado is going to be coming in here to get rid of the Migrals and even the trees. Let's see if he's gonna get lucky, if he's gonna go into the villages or not. But yeah, Shelty is right now going to be giving up, and he has recognized that right now with the Mythic, it's gonna be pretty much impossible. He has lost the opportunity that he had to win, and he let Shadowfax in places where he shouldn't have led him. Yep, that's definitely true, because of the mercenaries and whatnot. That is definitely true. And it's better to defend in yours. But otherwise, it was going quite alright for Shelty. So I'm thinking that he could have won, but he made some... He just didn't control the map well. I don't think he controlled the map well at all. He just shouldn't have allowed Shadowfax to so easily gather gold everywhere and just move the villages anywhere that he pleased. He was just too consumed with one part of the battlefield. And this, well, the fight for the TC, once it actually went up, it was always going downhill for Shelty. It was always going to be hard from there. Yeah, right now we're gonna see the shift. Because I didn't really see what they did. It seemed like they didn't do anything significant. And it seems like that it actually really didn't. Seems like that actually Shelty, that it backed on Shelty. Ah, he was trying to actually shift his opponent's army and it didn't work out. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. Definitely would have helped him. But anyway, well played by NoMercy. And he's coming back into the game, but still plenty of games ahead of him. He needs to win the rest of the games, the two that are waiting. But Shelty needs to take just one of them. Advance into the semifinals. But of course, you mustn't forget that this time it's gonna be home map of Shadowfax. They were quite similar in everything for the whole duration of the game. Even the echo wasn't that different. Well, GG.